The second wave of content for the solo season has been announced for Star Wars Battlefront 2. There is a new map, a returning mode from Battlefront 2015, new appearances, and other additions being added to the game. So let's jump right into the first details, beginning with the newest map. The Coaxium Mines of Kessel, not sure if this is the official name, it may just be Kessel, but this is the new map. This is taken straight from the Solo movie and looks to be a pretty accurate recreation of the location. From the new trailer that we got, it looks as if the map has a majority of the locations from the movie, such as the actual mine area as well as the outer area with the Millennium Falcon. The map looks to be a cool addition to the game. This map will be playable in Blast, Hero Showdown, Heroes vs Villains, and the new mode Extraction. Extraction is a returning mode from Battlefront 2015 and will be launched in Battlefront II 2017. This mode was one of the first additions included with the Season Pass and was released alongside the Jabba's Palace map and the remaining Outer Rim DLC. It is interesting to see them add the Jabba's Palace map and then add the accompanying game mode into Battlefront 2. Either way, Extraction was a pretty fun mode, but was one of my least played modes once the game released new maps and modes with the remaining DLC. Extraction is a pretty simple mode with one team escorting a payload to a certain checkpoint while defending it from the enemy team. The enemy team will have to stop the escort team from making progress with the payload. The payload will only move if activated and if an escort team member is near it. The payload can be deactivated by the enemy team and will stop moving even if the escort team is nearby. This basically plays like Overwatch's escort the payload type mode, I forget what it's called, except that the payload in this mode can be deactivated. Jabba's Palace and Kessel are primarily mentioned as being playable with this mode in the news post, as well as the release date of June 12th. I was honestly hoping for more than 2 maps for this mode. Extraction was never too interesting to me personally, so I will probably be less apt to play it. Now that there are only 2 maps to go along with it, I also feel that this discourages me even more from playing it. Maybe it will play better in Battlefront 2 since jetpacks and bubble shields appear far less. Battlefront 2015 catered more to those using those 2 abilities, as well as the slug launcher and back-to-bomb, which could make for some frustrating moments in Extraction. Hopefully the mode will play better now that those abilities have been toned back in certain capacities. We will have to wait and see. Another new addition is Lando's Millennium Falcon. This is shown to be purchasable with credits and appears to be yet another playable Millennium Falcon, this being the 3rd iteration. Your co-pilot will be L337 and a coaxium injection boost is stated as being an ability to help you get away from enemies quickly. Having yet another Millennium Falcon is kind of annoying and really reeks of reskinning. On top of this, it appears that you have to purchase this ship and it isn't unlocked for free. I honestly don't mind this, but I'm sure others will not feel the same way. If it plays differently though, then maybe this will help to justify it as a new ship in the game. This also adds L3 into the game, but only as a voice, supposedly at least, rather than making a physical appearance. Maybe this points to her being added as a hero later on, as other Starfighter heroes have been on the ground as well. Next up is new appearances. After the Bosch, or how do you say that, appearance for Leia, and the Skiff Guard appearance for Lando, we now have 2 new young Han appearances, 2 new young Lando appearances, as well as Chewbacca with goggles. The trailer also points to a new voice actor for young Han, but we do not hear lines from Lando. Hopefully we will get additional news about Lando's voice actor soon, since we will be hearing his voice not only with these skins but also in the Falcon, presumably that is. Although the young Han voice actor doesn't appear to be Alden from the Solo movie, this could be a great opportunity to announce at EA Play that Donald Glover will be voicing Lando, similar to how John Boyega was teased. I doubt this will happen, but it does seem kind of odd that the trailer did not go ahead and show Lando's actor, especially since gameplay of the new Falcon was teased. We do hear the line "push it" from what appears to be the young Han actor when it shows the Falcon. Push it! This may point to playing as young Han in the Falcon rather than young Lando. If this is the case, then I think that this is a big step in the wrong direction. I would love to have young Lando in the cockpit rather than young Han, just to have more variety in the Falcons. Especially in multiplayer situations, like are you going to have potentially 2 different Han Solos flying around at once, with 3 Millennium Falcons flying around at once? Like, that's kind of odd if you think about it. The appearances look good, but there are only 5, with Chewbacca appearing to just have added goggles and bandoliers. The young appearances do look nice and quite different from the standard appearances. I think it's safe to assume that these will be legendary appearances and will cost a pretty penny. This update isn't too impressive, as it can be boiled down to a mode I played a year ago, 5 cosmetic additions, another Falcon, and 1 new map. It isn't that impressive. There are no new weapons, no new abilities, and no mention of any different game modes or changes that I think are needed in the game. The second half of the solo season is not the worst addition by any means, but it is definitely lacking in comparison to what the game needs, in my opinion. At the end of the news post, it is mentioned that EA Play will have an update on what is next for Battlefront 2, which is actually kind of hopeful. It doesn't seem to be them simply showing this update at EA Play, but rather it may have them showing the update after this one. The solo season is a step in the right direction theoretically, but I will reserve any major judgments until I can actually play it and see it in action. Extraction on Kessel will actually be shown at EA Play, so I guess we'll just have to wait until then. Obviously, there are always going to be other things that I want to be included that won't be, but I think that is just the state of the game right now. After microtransactions were toned down so heavily, the content plan for the game was probably brought down as well. At least we are continuing to get new content, but I can't help but wonder for how long, especially once Battlefield 5 is released. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this update? Do you think it's a good update, a bad update, a step in the right direction, step in the wrong direction, all that kind of stuff. Just let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.